Okay. So what we're doing now is we're looking at the pack style drill, but using a basic drill of like freehand flies forward. So when there's an opening or a gap, our hand moves forward. So we've already ascertained that by doing the basic pack style drill, again, we're not fighting. We're just training our basic energies to begin with. That I don't chase Anne's hand. That it's moving forward, and Anne's moving forward to me. So obviously, if she stops at any stage, okay, my hand will fly forward. Great. Now we've got one problem. Again, we're not stepping. Fighting is stepping and moving all the time. This is just a basic training method, standing still to train some attributes. So now I can successfully, every time Anne stops, I can move forward towards her center. Next problem is that I'm out of distance. Okay? So what I'm going to have to learn now is that my hand flies, as my hand finds a gap, my stance follows it and steps. Okay? It's kind of the reverse of what we were doing last time. Remember that you were moving your hand first because of the distance. Okay? Remember, distance gives timing. Okay? If I was out here and Anne stepped in and punched at me, the timing I can use for my technique will be completely different from here. If I'm here and I'm talking with Anne and she throws a punch at me, my hand will move first. Okay? If she flies into me with it, then my stance. So it'll be hand and foot timing. Just as it is if I punch Anne from here. If I punch Anne from here, okay, I would use hand, and then as it's on its way, I would move my foot. I wouldn't use hand and foot timing together. Okay, because you're going to create a push. Okay, so it's the same in the block. It's the same here. I go to taxile, hand, and then Anne drives in, and foot timing. Okay, now if we're this close and free hand flies forward, it's the same idea. Hand, and then foot. Okay, Yili Trent teaches the thing where Anne stands like this, I come into this position here, I'm so close, I drive out, and then hand, and then a second later, foot timing. As I hit them, they wouldn't be there. And it's the same in Wing Chun. We teach that when we're here, that if the hand flies forward, if there's a gap, the hand's going to fly forward, and the foot follows a second later. The problem is now we need to train it, it has to happen by itself. You can't just consciously think of it, and that's what makes it tricky. So, as we're doing the pack side drill, at any stage, Anne can stop punching. Okay, now we'll just see my hand flies forward. Now, what I have to try to do is a second after I realize that there's nothing there, okay, is that my foot falls in. Okay, so slowly again, we'll stop your left hand so that the camera can see. Okay, here, there's nothing. My hand flies forward. Oh, free hand flies forward. There's a gap here. Now I don't want to do this and fall over. It flies forward, and then my foot, and we just touch the chest. We're not trying to fight, we're just trying to develop some attributes. Okay, so I don't know when she's going to stop, in here, okay, and you see there, that was a good one, that my hand came forward, and as it came forward, and it was like out here, and then whoa, my foot had to go. It's the same in combat, we're moving, things are all over the place, and suddenly I find a gap, and I'm here, and I throw the punch, in here, and then boom, I want to move, I want to take their ground. I don't want to stand someone and spar them out here, do a little kung fu fight with them, okay? When you hit someone and moves in and punch me, I want to hit, boom, and take their ground, okay? But I don't want to step in and then try to do it. This is what unfortunately a lot of Wing Chun does. They step in and they're like this, and they're trying to hit from here, and all they do is push, okay? And that's a big problem I found in Wing Chun, is that the theory is all great. They do movements, and the person does this, and they punch it. Oh, look, I'm here. But they never actually... They never drive in with any force. They place their fists all the time. They place them. Okay? So their theory is great, but they pack about as much power as a 5-year-old. Okay? You need to learn that when somebody moves in, okay, I'm going to have to learn to extend my hand and boom, move in with your whole body. Okay? So put back into our fighting drills. This is a very important exercise. Okay? But you have to understand that we're not fighting at the moment. What we're trying to develop. Okay? Like a boxer skips. You know, he's working his footwork. You know, he goes on the bag, he has different things he's trying to develop. Boxer doesn't come out and then stand in the ring and do this. He knows what it's for. It's very important that we don't think this is fighting. Okay? We know what we're trying to get from it. It's very important. I've explained this before. I say to Anne, go outside and go get me a kafun. And she goes off, and then she comes back, obviously, and says, oh, what the hell is a kafun? Okay? Because I've made it up. And exactly. If you try to do an exercise in martial arts, but the instructor doesn't explain to you exactly what you're trying to get from it, you may be lucky and open a drawer and find something that says kafunnel on it, but most people won't, and then you'll just make up your own things. You have to be very precise. When we do an exercise, what am I trying to develop? Here we're developing the idea that when there's a free gap, my hand flies forward, but now I can move my legs as well. This is what we're developing at the moment. I could do the same pack side drill and develop something different, which we just did a second ago. we develop the idea that when a force becomes strong and comes into us, okay, so Anne takes a step in, I shift backwards. Okay, same exercise developing a different attribute. Okay, just actually the reverse. Now we're going hand and foot going forward. There was hand and foot going backwards. Okay, but I can apply this principle many ways. I could be saying, Anne drives a punch at me. Okay, same idea. Forward, back, hit. Okay, so it's not technique. It's techniques are limited to situations. Theories are universal. Okay, I can take a theory and adapt it because I don't know how somebody's going to attack me. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, I don't have a prearranged set of techniques. I don't know. You make it up as you go along. Okay, and that's from understanding the structure. Okay, so thank you, Damien.